It was another double crown for hosts Redfern, with the All Blacks women's and men's both winning their knockout grand finals at Leichhardt Oval. It was back-to-back victories, in from years in the cold for the fellas, but the All Blacks women have won their knockout grand final 3 times in a row in the 5 years women have been competing in the KO. It's a far cry from a grassroots birth in Redfern, the brainchild of 6 men: Bob Smith, Bob Morgan, Bill Kennedy, Danny Rose, Victor Wright and the late George Jackson, who formed Koori United in the early 1970s. And the rest is history. ...2016 marked the 46th knockout, and Victor Wright says wild horses couldn't keep him away.
I've come here every year since I started. The bigger thing is watching grandchildren, grandsons, grandchildren, and my own daughter's children. My son played for Redfern All Blacks last year, scored the winning try, and that's made me proud again. So it's, yes, he said as long as I've played one game, won the grand final. But it's the people who make this knockout, the family from different towns who come along. And that culture is here because we are all pretty close to be related.
The men started the knockout because many Aboriginal footballers at the time were being overlooked by talent scouts. Victor Wright says it just bloomed from there, and he played in the very first event in 1971 and then for another 2 decades after.
I played in 21 years in it. From the time I started till the time, 21 years straight.
So when did you stop playing?
In 1991. From 1971 to 1991.
Victor and the other men from the original Founding Fathers group says the knockout was never just about football. It's always been a reason to get mobs together, to celebrate and enjoy a weekend of family and sport. Frank Vale Sr. is from Kempsey and was at Leichhardt Oval with his family. He's played in plenty of knockouts himself and wants to make sure his kids do too.
The atmosphere is still around, it's never changed, it's been around for a long time. Just a matter of getting together and meeting your family, not relation and everything. That's all it is about knockout, realistic. Yeah.
30,000 people converged on Leichhardt Oval across the weekend. From babies to children, teenagers, mums and dads, grandmas and grandpas, and elders from right around the state. Dunghutti elder Auntie Mavis Davis is a knockout veteran and has seen the event expand from the early years of hand-drawn cardboard signs sticky taped around Redfern. She says with so many serious issues facing our young people these days, sport is a great leveller.
We're very proud of all our young men, regardless of where they come from. But to see the talent that these young men have is fantastic. I believe it's the best football in New South Wales, in Australia. Because, the league's all right, but when you come to something like this, our boys put on the show and show us and their community what they can do. And it makes us proud just to sit there and see them have a go.
Moose was also in the elders' tent and says the knockout is the big event for elders to get together and catch up on old times.
It's like we're getting older, and I can't go to Moree, I can't go to Armidale, I can't go to Coffs Harbour, I can't go here, I can't go there. I can come to knockout, I can go everywhere. They're all them towns come and meet them here, and they're all the same like me. They're all old fellas, and we talk about old fellas not here and how our health is, and all that stuff is.
With the football being the reason for gathering, The elders were the glue holding it all together, and the stalls the icing on the cake. New South Wales Aboriginal Land Council was there, as well as a number of government bodies and Aboriginal health programs advocating for healthy eating and positive lifestyles. Darren R.C., CEO of Wellington Aboriginal Corporation Health Service, was there for Quit Be Fit, to raise awareness of the links between smoking and chronic disease.
So we're trying to, get into their ear and say, look, this is what smoking can do. You might be cool in that now, but you look 10, 15 years down the track, it can really do some damage to your health. And not only it doesn't impact on the individual, it impacts on the whole family. Because if you've got a loved one that's dying of cancer or has got a chronic disease because of smoking, the family's actually got to deal with that, and they've got to see that as well. So it's trying to create that whole awareness, individual, family and community-wise.
Access to appropriate health services is also an issue, particularly for mob in New South Wales remote areas. Owen Craigie works for the St Vincent de Paul Society and says a partnership with the National Disability Insurance Scheme is designed to help Aboriginal people from all parts of the state.
We will be holding pre-engagement at some of the land councils across the state to lure families and communities in, and it's really important that we do that because they've already established relationships in these communities. They've been there for a very long time, so we're not going to go out there and reinvent the wheel when it already exists. So we'll probably hold our workshops at some of the at the land councils, especially in the Hunter, New England and Western Sydney, and it's important that we do that.
Owen Craigie says people's needs are complex.
We help Aboriginal families that have got family members or individuals with disabilities, and we help them from the whole process, coming through the whole journey through NDIS. So we at St Vincent de Paul Society, we are currently employing 22 Aboriginal identified jobs across the state. And with that, they'll help Aboriginal families do their pre-planning, gathering all the information possible to capture all the evidence to put together the best plan possible for them to either for equipment, home modifications, car modifications, funding to engage in arts and craft classes, which we classify as community engagement. Yeah.
Getting hold of a birth certificate can also be daunting and expensive, but there's help for that too. It's called the National Aboriginal Birth Certificate Program, and Indigenous Strategy and Engagement Manager Joe Craigie says it's designed to make getting that very important document much easier.
The birth certificate program is about us supporting young Aboriginal people, be them newborn or up to 21 years of age. So we're supporting kids into care, into preschool, daycare, primary school, high school, even further education. Kids to get their licence, get the opportunity to get a passport so that they can participate in age sport even, because you do have to show a birth certificate to be able to prove that you are of that age. It's quite an exciting program that works closely with the community, and that's why we're here for the Knockout.
Program Coordinator Hilton Naden says they visit all the big Aboriginal events to help people who may not know where to start to get their birth certificate.
I've been up to the Murray Cup up in Brisbane.
Oh, wow.
That was very colourful, and it was a good introduction for me to see how Queensland State was providing their service. So, real eye-opener for me, and just coming down and spending some time with Birth, Death and Marriages Registrar yesterday. Yes. That was also important to get to know the faces behind who you're dealing with in the office.
But as Victor Wright mentioned when our mob spoke with him, elders walk hand in hand with culture, which he believes is the most important element of the Knockout. Auntie Marlene Cummins agrees.
To enjoy the sport and be there to share and care in their losses and their victories, and I think because of the fact all the mob here, and that's which is unique to our culture, extended family, and you have a kinship system in regards to extended community relations.
Teresa Monta from La Perouse says she was at the first knockout as a small child and attends as many as she can with her family. She says it's important to remember and respect the efforts of all of the old people who've gone before us.
The older ones would sit there and they'd explain to you. So my family were at La Perouse and scattered all the way along the coast. So, you know, I follow all the South Coast teams, the Uamanero, Illawarra, it's my favourite, yeah. I had a great old Uncle Jeffo Tungi, he was really deadly. And I remember, I just would like to mention those old people because there's Uncle Jeffo, I think Uncle Buck Stewart, I think and Uncle Penno, Mervyn Penrith and Uncle Splinter, I think they sort of backed up for Lapa. And anyways, all these years later, you know, it's bigger, it's more technical, it's all, you know, and it's good.